Okay.
Did you ever tell me that you caught a Taylor? Did you ever tell me that you caught a Taylor?
I didn't, but I did. Yeah. I did not tell you, but yes, I did catch one.
I know Taylor from the show.
Oh.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so you can't jump around the table, okay?
Okay.
And so I'm going to use this. So when we show things, I can show the people online. Okay, I'll have to try to remember to check the Q&A throughout. So I've got everything set up here, Caleb, where we'll have the order of things. And so I'll ask you for, yeah, I know, because this was going to happen in 2020 and then it turned into 2021. Hello.
Welcome home. Daddy, I caught 2 bunny X-Facts.
Nice.
Pikachu. No way. I went to Team Rocket, tried to rescue, but it got away.
In a particular order. All right, so Caleb will keep his mask on. I'll take mine off so you can hear me better. Welcome. And so last time we talked about the playscape and some of the church stuff, and this time we're going to go through all my tech toys. Caleb, Miss D wants to give it to you. So first off, we had, and let me make sure there's no questions first. Okay, good. I upgraded my shop a fair bit. So I have, so as I mentioned, with things can get, poisonous and things like that. So got a new, really good air filter for my shop.
Everybody's had this, yeah.
Okay, you can put it on the table. Got the router table, and that's a little jig for putting in screws at an angle through wood. You can, yes. There's the laser cutter. You already saw that, and I had to make this filter system. Got a new drill press. So just some general shop upgrades, and I had to use all of this to make Charlie's playscape. So it was, the Lego table. You want to tell them about your Lego table? Well, why did you pick the different colors?
I picked different colors for different places.
So what is the green?
Grass.
And what is the blue?
Water.
And what is the tan?
Sand.
And the gray?
A city.
And do you have a lot of Legos?
Yeah. One more thing I showed them.
What?
On here.
Just move the mouse. They can see the mouse. Where do you want to show it? If you click though, it'll move to the next. So what are you trying to show?
That, because then I have actually Legos in there.
Yeah, so he can attach the Legos. That's a Lego base plate. So it actually, the Legos will stay on top of it. So this, and that's, Legos can go inside this little trench so that they're available. And down here, we'll show you, I designed these 3D printed boxes so that we could organize the Legos by color. And there's a couple of design things I did with that. So 3D printing. So one of the things that we had, let me go a little smaller
Can I
here.
show them? Can I show them? Can I-
So tell us about that picture, Caleb.
These are Power Rangers we printed.
So those are Power Rangers. And how did we get those shapes?
I drew.
He drew on a piece of paper, and then I converted it. I traced it on the computer and then turned it into 3D models. Now we actually, you notice that? Stand up. So one of our Sunday school kids drew a picture and sent it to me, and I converted it into a 3D model, and we're going to print it live here for you in a minute. I did leave the finished one upstairs. No, that's a different thing. It's a heart. Well, I'll find it. It's upstairs at the very least. Yeah, so here's the picture.
Accidentally did
Yeah.
it. Where was that? Okay?
So, yeah, that's fine. So then I traced the contours of the different colors, because you can only print in one color. Well, unless you get a special printer, and there's little tricks you can do to print in multiple colors, but they're hard, and I don't generally do it. So what I did instead was trace these contours and created this shape here, and then made little walls. So then she'll be able to go in and paint inside the walls with the different colors to match it. And again, I have a full-size version that I think I left up in the office already printed, but we're going to print a smaller one live. And for those online, yes, and some people, yeah, some people have like ways of slicing like different actual maps. So what we're going to do, I've already got it warming up, and hard to see up there, but oh, okay. Caleb, don't click, don't click. Yeah. So there it's so it's starting to come down. It's going to calibrate itself, and then it will start printing. So it'll, oops, I never took this off. There. The build plate is heated. When you have a heated plate, it sticks better. And with 3D printing, the first layer is everything. If you're, there we go. If your first layer is bad, just hit stop. It's all over. It's like having a bad foundation. So getting all the settings just right, what you want to do is for every kind of, it's called filament, for every kind of plastic, there are different settings. So depending on what it's made out of, this one is a composite that isn't just straight one kind, it's mixed of two different kinds. And so it's also where you buy them determines how much help you get. So this is, you know, generic Chinese brand. So I got no help, but I know what the general settings are. So after 4 or 5 little prints, then I got it dialed in, and then you save it, and I'll show you kind of what you do. It's is it still heating? So yeah, over here you can, it doesn't really show up, but it tells you what the temperature is. So it's now heating. It's got the build plate at the right temperature, the hot end. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. You can come up later and take a look, but all of this comes out in this one tiny little tip. And so that is, you want it to be just the right temperature so that it melts when it's pushed out, but not drippy. And that's you got to feather it. You got to be just right. And sometimes like different colors from the same manufacturer are different by 5 degrees. So it can be rather annoying. I mean, it'll still come out okay. It's just how much do you care? So there it goes. It's now starting. I should have really chosen a different color than black on black because that doesn't really show up all that well. And we're also, anyone who would like to later, so Caleb, do you want to do the pen?
Oh, sure.
This is a 3D printing pen.
Do I actually get to use it?
Yeah. And
And by the way, make sure not to get burned.
yeah, you don't want to touch the tip, which is 180 degrees Celsius. So, but everything else is totally fine. And if you want to try it and you want to protect your finger, I do have little thimbles, silicone thimbles.
I'm using one. Like, do I use two, Dad?
You don't, I just don't touch the end, but you've done this before.
Yeah, I'm gonna so Dad.
I'm going to have you do it down here and I'm going to show it on the camera. Okay.
So Dad, where do I put each one?
All right. It's wait for it to get to 180. So same thing. I will move this here. And you've got the filament sticking out the back. It's almost at 180. And if you're like an artist, you can freehand these things. If you're me, you can't. So,
Daddy, I need your
I've actually wanted to see, can Janice do this? So, no pressure.
Daddy.
All right, it's 180. I don't think you actually even need it. So what you do is you push the forward and it will start pushing out the filament and it will actually draw.
Daddy.
So
Wait, Dad.
what? So up here,
Wait, Dad.
are you going to do it?
I want the other side.
You want the blank side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Dad, I don't know where these go.
That's fine. All right. So show them. Remember? It's come over. You got to come over here. You got to come over here.
This is the blank side.
You got to come over here because the cord. That is just a silicone pad so that he can put it on it and it will be able to come off.
Oh, okay.
So it's this. It's that button. Caleb.
This one?
Yeah. Are you too nervous? Do you want me to do it?
Can I just draw anything?
Yeah.
Or can I just make a little
You can just make a little pile. Give it a second. There it goes. It's coming out now. Yeah.
Won't come off.
Okay. For the sake of time, I'll move us along here. It gets stuck. And I'm holding 4 things, so.
It's just making a little.
Yeah, that's why we use the other side though, Caleb. Well, you get the idea. But that's also why your first layer is so important. Where is it? There. So it bunched up instead of sticking on the pad because it's not a heated pad. So that's, this is called a spaghetti monster in technical speak for 3D printing, is when it all bunches up like that. And that can happen on your actual 3D printer as well, if things don't go right. So,
I want to try.
well, we need to move on. So we can try it later, but we didn't, it's not set up right. Okay, and using the flat side makes it even harder. There. And it cools off rather quickly. Things you learn. And over there, it's going. So
It's at 1%.
yeah, so on the inside over here, watch out, Caleb. They need to see it too. Over here. Come over here.
I want to see what.
So on the inside, you can make it solid or not. So the more solid it is, the heavier it is, the longer it takes. And how long it takes is a big deal on 3D printing. Laser cutting, it's way faster, but there's different things you can do. So you can, it's called infill. You can tell it how solid to be on the inside, and it has different patterns. So like some of them can be honeycombs on the inside. Some of them are overlapped, like alternating sides of just the kind of diamond shape. And so, you know, different companies test that and have, most of them don't actually make a huge difference. There's like 5 that you can use. Caleb, remember I said you gotta be patient. Oh, I'll show you. Oop, where did Prusha go?
Prusha? What's Prusha?
Prusha.
Is it the dragon?
This is how you actually, Mariella, which one? No, that's the wrong one. But anyway, you get the idea. So you drag in a model, and then you can do multiple models if you want. Yeah, I actually had to do something a little, it didn't like what I was trying to do. So I had to trick it into doing what I wanted it to do by overlapping them. But if you just overlap them, it will then try to draw it twice. So I had to, there's a trick you can do to make it combine 2 models on the fly. And that's what I had to do to make this. But that's what it will be printing. And then it doesn't want to do that. It's all frozen. Okay, I think we're back. So that'll be printing. Oh yeah, you need to wait. That's what this arrived as, and it was mostly assembled, they said. Mostly, I wanted, yeah, I guess whatever mostly assembled isn't would just be a raw collection of parts. So that took me 5 days to go through all of this. And but well, it did help being on sabbatical.
Does it have a special case, or you just carry it?
Just carry it around.
Oh dear.
I mean, so this one's actually easy to carry because that top bar is really solid.
Oh.
So yes, and I'll show you a little bit. So those are the 3 going simultaneously, all making masks. So there's the masks. And that's the only reason I have 3 3D printers is for a while there, the demand was really high and I had to make a bunch of them in a hurry. So made well over 100 of them and shipped them around the country. I think 11 different states, special needs families primarily, who like Charlie, they were chewing on the mask. And then this gets it off the face. And then, you know, discover different things. Like the first version, there wasn't a little grill on the inside. And then Charlie just stuck his tongue out. I was like, okay, new version. And then he didn't really like it because he was having, you know, if you think it's hard to breathe in a normal mask, now throw a piece of plastic on it. So he was having a little hard time breathing. So that's where I added the vents on the side. And he actually doesn't like the padding here. So we actually took it off and he just wears it as is. So what I did was some people at the beginning of the pandemic designed this. They were at a hospital and they were, you know, that's when they needed N95 masks and they couldn't get them. So their version of this was they needed the padding on the side to make it airtight. And so then they would have an insert for a an N95 and they could get 6 N95s out of 1 by using this plastic mask. And it was actually approved for hospital use in several states, including Colorado. So I took their model and then brought it in and added the grill on the front because I didn't want to, do an insert like that. So I created that little grill, the red part in the middle, and then told it to, glue it together basically in the 3D model. And then those little things that are poking through it that look like rods, those are the holes. So you just make a cylinder, stick it where you want it, and then tell it, instead of adding it, subtract it. And so then it creates the hole through the middle of it. That is called constructive solid geometry. Layer by layer. Yes, so overhangs. Overhangs are a big deal in 3D printing, and that's where my printer 6 years ago, or now it's more than like 8 years ago when I first got into this, could hardly do overhangs at all. And they've gotten better and better and better, and they, based on the material and your device, they kind of have guidelines of how much it can do. And so this was, if you know that, you can design it where if it's less than 45 degrees, most printers in most common filaments can handle it. Because it's just, what it turns out being is like half a layer of overhang. So if it has to have a little bit to build off of. And then by the time it comes around the next time, it can go out a little bit further, and then a little bit further, and then a little bit further. And it has, it's stuck together, so it's solid enough. So that's how it prints in thin air. But if you go more than that angle, and it's literally printing in thin air, you get the spaghetti monster.
Spaghetti monster.
Like this turned into.
Can I?
You can hold the spaghetti monster. So that's the finished 3D model. And again, the hard work, you can find it. The hard work was making that original mask, which I didn't do. It's right here, Caleb. I just modified it. It's got a tiny little thread. That's why it's hopping around. All right, other 3D projects. We already showed you that he drew those.
We didn't show
Yeah, tell us about those two.
This was for Mom's birthday. Can I have it?
Yeah.
This was for Mom's birthday.
That was for Mom's birthday.
It says, "Happy birthday, Mom." Good.
And so I used different colors and then just glued the things together. So he drew this picture and then I broke it into the different parts, and using the different colors, we were able to combine it. So it's the power of super glue right there.
And this was a little game we made, and we drew these.
So those are little standees. So we were doing games, kind of like miniatures, or action figures, but we were drawing our own and made games about it. So those are 3D printed little stands that you can stick the card into and they stand up. So there's the clamp that we showed you earlier.
Can I show them?
Okay,
And these.
so you clamp it in the two different sides and it makes a perfect right angle.
These are my Lego bins.
Those are the Lego bins. And
Put them.
instead of making it a solid model, I made two different models. Do you remember why I did that, Caleb?
No.
Remember why they're two different colors?
Why? Why?
So that if it was a black box with a black bottom and black Legos, you wouldn't be able to see the parts. So I made the base separate, and it's kind of hard to see, but it has a little lip. It's like a rabbit joint, so it slides in, and I super glue that edge. And so then it becomes a nice solid box with a different color on the bottom. And then that is,
Wait, can I tell them?
tell them about that, yeah.
And this is our fan.
Why does it have a thing on the back? Do you remember?
Because you 3D printed it.
Yeah, but what's this thing on the back?
What
That's
is
a little
it?
dirty. It's a filter.
Filter.
So when the smoke started really, really bad, we got a few of those, and those are really high grade filters. We also used it when Charlie got COVID, and we because they're the high enough rating that there was one study in like Thailand that showed that it could actually trap the virus. I was like, well, it's not going to hurt. So we're going to do it. So we had, and I'd already done them for the smoke. So they're supposed to last, that's like an air conditioner, air filter. And so it attaches on. And by 3D printing it, you can slide it in and out instead of like taping it, which gets annoying. Okay, let's not do that. And when it was smoky, they were getting filled up in like 2 weeks. So it was doing something. All right, let's go to the next one. Click over here. All right, tell them about your Charizard.
There's my Charizard.
Oh, careful, because it's plugged in. Show the camera over here. Ah! So let's bring it over here so that the people online can see it too. Okay.
This is my Charizard.
So this is called a hologram illusion lamp. And this is,
Can I
hold on,
hold it?
hold on. We got to hold it where they can see it. So
You made all that.
I made all of this.
Oh my God.
So this is a Pokemon. He loves Pokemon. And this is a special Pokemon called Charizard. And on the inside, let's take Charizard out. I'm going to take off the lid.
Turn it off. Can I turn it off? Can I unplug
So
it?
turn it off over here. Don't unplug it. Turn it off over here.
Turn it off.
Here, we'll just do that. Okay. We already got it, Caleb. Already got it. Caleb already got it. Thank you.
I wanted to do it myself.
Okay. So that is, come over here.
Miss it.
Programmable LED. It can go in any color. Well, there's only 16 million colors it can do, but Caleb, I need it all. Then underneath is the microcontroller that you plug the USB into, and that runs the program. So for a while I had it where it was changing colors randomly, and but then we used it as a nightlight for him, and that was a little distracting. So, so I changed it where it's just whatever color I pick. The hardest part of this, and I have another one. So let's turn Charizard on.
Wait, can
And
I turn it on?
Let's
Can
get
I?
it over here and then you can turn it on.
All right.
All right. So it's, okay, just leave it on there. Okay, no. Okay. So it's called edge lit. So it shines from the bottom and it picks up the engraved lines that the laser cutter engraved, and that's what makes it shine out to make it kind of a hologram illusion. Now over here, this was my first design, and you can just, I built them to be swappable. So you just, now it's really dirty because, but so it picks up, Caleb, they can't see. Caleb, can you move, please? Kind of hard to tell in there, but it picks up the different, the shape really. All right. I'm losing my co-presenter here. Yes. So I'm continuing to work on the design. So the other one I had to glue together. So it's kind of hard to tell, but I'm redesigning it. No, you need to wait. Where, I don't know if you can see it, but there's screws now. So I designed it where I can now basically the screws are stronger than the plastic. So if you put them about 25% or not even 25%, a little bit smaller than the screw, it actually threads itself and it becomes swappable. So again, that's on the top there. It has
Whoopsie.
and then I added those holes so that this can be screwed on as well. And my idea there is to make it hackable. When it's glued, you can't hack anything. Okay, stop, please. Stop, please. Okay, we've gone all the way through now. So please stop with the mouse unless you ask me, okay? I know it's hard. Yeah, they're very, very fun. Okay, gotta find where we are. There we are. And again, that's there's, you know, I made all of this out of computer code, basically. Hey, it is jumping all around. All right, that's one little, oh, it's already done. So our one trick that I learned because I worked in machine vision at National Instruments.
So tiny.
I know, I made it half size. I've got the full one up in my office. By having this ruler here, this metric ruler here, and then taking a picture as close to top down as possible, you can then calibrate it in the computer and measure where things are. Now, one of the things you have to realize is that pixels in a camera are rectangular. Pixels on a computer are square. So it's actually a slightly different calibration vertically and horizontally. But if you know that, you can calibrate it in both directions. And so then I learned how to place where the pegs need to be, where the screw holes need to be. And it's by doing it that way, I'm within 1/10 of a millimeter or 1/20th of a millimeter to start with. And then I just do minor tweaks from there. So that's one of those tricks you learn when you're in machine vision. All right, you ready to demo the rubber band game?
Yeah.
Bring it over here and I will get it where the camera can see it.
Can you do one side?
Yes.
I'll
So give
be
me a second.
circle side.
Now, 1 second. Okay. Our internet connection's unstable. Perfect. So those are some of the different 3D printed things. One of the interesting things is, so this is, I mean, this is solid, right? Like it's not bending. Okay. We may not have speakers after this if we get knocked over a few more times. So this is not bending, but if you cut this special pattern into it, it becomes floppy. And it's this, I mean, it's, you know, no trick, no magic trick here. So Carol has this pen and pencil box. That was the first thing I made on the printer, and she loves pencil boxes. So I gave it to her as a gift, but it literally has this special thing in it, and you can just wrap it around. And in fact, it's stretchy. So it actually stretches in and connects together, and then you can stretch it back out. It's pretty crazy.
Dad? Right, Dad?
This is, let's see if I can, there we go. Everything's backwards. So we'll just do that. So this is a little game. All of this, so that over there has the different parts that are cut out for this. So all of these are different parts. You glue them together and it makes this game. And you try to make it fit, shoot it through the gap. 1, 2, 3, go. Ah! So then there's different ways of playing it, but one of the ways is you try to get within a certain amount of time,
3,
get
2,
as many on your opponent's side as possible.
0.
Oh, he beat me. He beat me.
I'll do it for 1 minute.
Nope, not for 1 minute.
5.
If you would like to play it over here, that's okay.
All right, can you?
But-
Oh, I know for 1 minute.
Well, I need to keep presenting because we're running out of time.
and then I'll have to go to Sunday school.
Well, this is Sunday school for you. So this is, you'll go up to church in a little bit. I'll bring you back in to help present in a minute.
Oh, like I'll be where I can play quietly. Back to church.
Just, you know, yes. I don't know if it's sharing audio, but share sound. And optimize for video. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate. It does help to turn on the speakers. See, even techies make the dumb mistakes. So that one doesn't have a lot of sound, but that's the special pattern that's getting cut into it. All right, virtual reality. Caleb, tell us about virtual reality.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just show the video because you're in the video.
Okay, show.
I'm going to demonstrate this virtual reality headset, and the whole thing with virtual reality is once you put these goggles on, you feel like you're the hero, but to the outside world, you look like a complete idiot. So I'm going to give you the inside view of what I'm seeing inside the headset, and also what I actually look like in the webcam. So this is one of the ways that I have learned to exercise and actually enjoy it is I have this boxing game, and it tracks how fast you actually are moving your hands, so you have to actually punch hard. And so after 3 or 4 rounds of that, I am dripping in sweat. So I'll show you what that looks like.
Protect yourself at all times and obey what I say at all times. Let's make this a clean
So that's what I'm seeing. And then in the bottom right, you see what I actually look like. So, and I chose the boxing game instead of the exercise dancing game because y'all don't need the video of that. No one does. There's my helper.
Dad won the first.
I am now dripping in sweat, and that is an excellent workout.
It's kind of hard to see, but so after 3 rounds of that, I'm literally just drenched in sweat. All right, here's Caleb.
Here's my
So try to
practice.
hit it right on the,
Not my full
on the
good.
green spots. Oh, he punched you.
Can I blocking?
Yep,
Blocking.
blocking.
And if you get close to the edge of the space you've put out, it
Here it is.
stops
Building
the
a
game
lightsaber.
and shows you. So like you don't walk off. All right, as a Star Wars fan, you know I had to have a Star Wars game. So yes.
You have acquitted yourself well. I will not be denied. You
It's
will
kind of
help
hard to
seize the
tell, but
Bright
I'm
Star.
looking up like this because in the game he's
I
you know
sense
like
a latent
6'6".
force ability within you. Follow me, and I will instruct you in its ways.
Whoa. And that would mean for me,
I know
would
you've
have-
never played that.
in the game, I would have to look up so high, I guess. Can I do down first and tripping?
Okay, so this is another.
Can I
Yes.
actually put it on?
Nope, I didn't. Hold on, we're gonna.
So,
Where did I put it?
oh,
There it
it's
is.
right there.
Well, but I need the gaming phone too.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
So I did
it's on the
some.
gaming
It's
phone?
on the gaming phone.
The gaming phone.
My old phone has become Caleb's. Gaming
Gaming phone. With all the games.
So where's the birthday card?
It's over there.
So this is a birthday card that I made for him. And
You made the cartoon.
made the card too. It's kind of hard to tell here, but there we go. So this is an actual web app that I published just for him. And so let's see if it comes through. Okay, there we go. So point it, you got to actually point it at
Oh. Just
Oh.
happened.
it ran out of battery.
You forgot.
I forgot to plug it in.
You forgot to plug it in.
But because it's a web app, I've got it on anything. AR greeting card. There we go.
Play.
Okay, and we got sound. You got to actually point it at the card though, bud. Yeah, there you go. So it picks up the location. Here, you need to back up a little bit. They can't see what you're doing. Sit on the chair. On your knees. There we go. Okay. So as he moves the card around, the phone around, it detects this black code with a white spot in the middle, and it makes the bad guy show up wherever that is in real life. So that's augmented reality. And the guy attacks you too. So, okay. So it's a greeting card that got many weeks of usage out of it. All right. No. Last one.
Why do I do so much damage in this?
Because I made it easy.
Why did you make it easy?
So for Code for Kids, we used to do camps, COVID and camps, not really a good mix. So we started thinking about other ways to teach kids to code. And what I've noticed is that when you get to middle school, a lot of the schools have pretty good support. And in elementary school, they don't. And I know a lot of teachers or schools where it's like the librarian who has the quote unquote time. So they become like the project teacher or the STEM teacher. And so some of them can figure that out, and some of them, it's way outside their comfort zone. So this is an app that is designed to teach kids to code, especially from 0 up through loops, events, the things that are really hard to get conceptually. And I don't know of anything that handles those well. Once you get past that, there's all these tools that are available to you that are really nice and really cool. But this beginning to that, it's really hard. So I'm making this app, don't click, but to handle that transition, and it tracks like the different activities are correlated with Common Core educational goals. So behind the scenes, it can tell the teacher, Sally Salazar progressed in these skills, whereas Caleb progressed in these other skills. And it's designed to where I never see their names. Like the Code for Kids never gets the kids' private info. It's student 34272. We have no idea. So it preserves privacy by design, and only the school even has the information about the students. So that's how it, like Google is in the business of collecting all your info. So this is designed a little differently. It started off, and I'll show you. There's all kinds of different tags here. These are printed on paper and then glued to some 3D printed backing. So this is they actually don't work as well as the one that I have for my laser cutter. But you can see here, it picks up the tag and makes the dragon follow the tag. So this one is manually controlling it. And you just start dodging the blocks. And as the little grid kind of helps you see it, and you can see, oh, I hit it. So I took some damage. So I have a little light that casts the shadow, so and also the grid helps you know which thing you need to dodge. but I moved off of that.
So this is a
because
demonstration of
was
the two modes of the
not
dragon
always working
game.
in a
What you see
classroom
here
environment.
is the dragon
So here's what I'm doing now.
flying around in the open world. This is what you can see. Got mountains, got a little valley.
And this is
You
all
go
stuff
fast.
I built.
You can go slow, you can go up, you can go down.
I don't know.
And the player is looking for challenges. Right now, I'm just making it that big pink dome over there.
It's too dark in here. I can't see anything. Maybe that switch will turn on a light. Can you guide
Yes,
me to the
that's
red
me,
switch
just
and
pitch
activate it?
shifted.
Obviously, we'll have better audio recording than just me with pitch shift, but that'll do for now. So you can drag in computer programs. Instructions tell the dragon what to do.
Much better. Now I can see those tasty mushrooms.
And we're out of time for the robots, but maybe I can bring them next week. And for the very beginning of Sunday school, we'll have the robots, and then we'll do the Life Journal Bible study.
Daddy, can I do it now?
Do you want to show the robots next week, and so you can do battle bots?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Just briefly, yeah, because he built, Caleb built and designed this. This is Lego We Do. And it,
Beautiful.
so he programs it and it has actual sensors. And
Here's a different robot.
Here's one I built.
I helped at the very beginning.
Yes, Caleb helped. That's Caleb helping me assemble it. There's a problem with the power right now, so I can't show you, but it has a camera, ultrasonic sensors, light sensors, line following, motors, and it can move its head around independently. These are the battle bots that we'll show you next week because we're out of time. And you can actually battle. And they're designed for that. And like the armor, you can like knock the armor off and it's designed for that and it goes back on. Okay,
Daddy.
so that's what we'll show briefly next week. And if anyone wants to battle Caleb and battle bots, I'm sure he'd be happy to. So that's the fun stuff. All right. Thank you for helping me. Yeah.
Can you take me to some? Can you take me
Which ones? Because it's all different for each one. So like this one started off with a kit that I then just customize. What we do is a whole educational set, which is just Legos, and then it has special Lego bricks that let you do the programming. And the battle bots, those you can just buy. So I didn't do anything to those. They're just fun, really. And then other things you can design. I can use my 3D printer or my laser cutter to make parts for them. And then, or like, for the acrylic lamp, I bought these individual parts from a place called Adafruit. And she's one of my favorite makers. And then I designed the enclosure myself, and there were no references. No one had built an enclosure for those exact parts. So I had no reference to go on. I had to make it all from scratch.
Daddy.
No, you need to be quiet. Any other questions? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually have given out companion dogs like to people, especially like during COVID. Carol gave out robotic companion dogs and cats to people, who were like alone at home, or wanted some companionship, and they're pretty good. Charlie has a version of that as well. Ricky.
It was either Christmas or his birthday.
Yeah. So thank you everyone who joined us online as well, and we'll
See you next time.
we'll do robots next time.